Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Perito Talk, an occasional series where we chat with men who matter. Today we have with us Anand Srinivasan, a one-time engineer, a modern-day economist, currently into stock picking, a television commentator, a YouTuber who has 5 lakh followers. We'll talk to him today about the national economy. We'll talk to him about political parties, and we will talk to him about what is his vision of the way forward. Anand, you have been a long time congressman.
Yeah.
You have also been a fairly serious critic of the Modi government. Putting that aside, putting that apart, I want you to tell us what is your view of the national economy today? Where does India stand?
1970s, a British parliamentarian defined a new economic term called stagnation plus inflation is called as stagflation. It swept through Europe, especially UK and United States between the late 70s till Paul Volcker came around and fixed things in the late 70s. We are nearly the same. We have had negative growth last year, barely positive growth. That is also a statistical manipulation by reducing the growth last year. If I reduce the growth last year, it pops up. So we have low to stagnant growth. And the inflation numbers are far from flattering. It's in double digits. So definitely, and even the consumer price inflation is well above the RBI's comfort level. So definitely inflation plus stagnant growth is stagflation. Normally what happens in economics is when there's inflation, you have a lot of growth. Growth comes with inflation. But here the growth is absent, but only inflation is present. And this is not only true of India, this is true of US. But in US, luckily for them, what is happening is they are having record growth. They are growing at India's speed. They are growing at 6%. And they are having inflation of 4%, which is 2% above their normal. Their normal is 2. Correct. So they're having a 4% inflation and a 6.3% growth. We have a 6% inflation and about 1% growth at this time. This quarter, there may be an optical illusion of growth because last quarter we dropped by 24%. So that's an optical illusion. You have to compare this quarter with what was there 2 years back to get a real idea of growth.
What if you were maybe the finance minister or if you were to advise the government, what is it that you would suggest to them to set right this rapid fall in GDP? Or should we dismiss it as a global event, keep our hands quiet and wait for things to turn better?
That is what the government is doing. What you are suggesting is what the government is doing. There is what the Venerable T.N. Nainan, who writes in Business Standard, calls it the K-shaped recovery. The rich like me are getting more richer, and the poor and the middle class are getting more poorer. So definitely this calls for intervention. The first thing the government should do is transfer money into the accounts of the lower middle class and the poor. India has 3 sections. India has downright poor people. In Tamil Nadu, it's about 16 to 17% of the population. Then you have a vulnerable class of people who are not poor, who are lower middle class, but they need the ration support to survive in the lower middle class. That is about 25 to 30% of the population. Then you have the middle class. So you need to support these 3 classes of people who are not regularly employed, who are depending on their daily labor for income. Somebody like who cuts your hair, does your plumbing work, electrical work, these kind of people who work in the entertainment industry, whom we consider very rich, these people are in serious trouble and they need at least 6,000 rupees a month for the next 6 months at least. And the cost to the exchequer will be between 1.8 lakh crores to 2.2 lakh crores. Not much.
In your view, what is it that is stopping the government from doing that?
No, this government believes that supply side economics will work. But supply side economics, I mean that if you encourage investment, the problem will get solved by itself. So they cut taxes, direct taxes 2 years back. So when you cut direct taxes, if they think it is the normal theories, you stimulate investment. Unfortunately, what has happened is there is no demand. So existing factories are not running full. So when my existing factories are not running full, why will I add more capacity? I will not add more capacity. Unless demand resumes, investment will not take place. So there is an absolute collapse of demand and the government does not want to accept that there is collapse of demand.
Okay, there is the modern monetary theory that talks about the possible need to print currencies in times of war. And there are many people who feel that what we are going through today, the novel coronavirus and its impact, is the equivalent of war. Would you suggest that India prints currency, or do you think that we have enough money to transfer?
No, it's already, we are in the mistaken notion that we are not printing money.
Okay.
You are printing a lot of money. And that is why your inflation is where it is today. Last year, you printed 5 lakh crores.
Would you like to explain to our viewers as to what is the indirect form that we are printing money?
I'll explain to you. So last year, you printed 5 lakh crores. And this year, so far, you have already agreed in the first 6 months to print 3.5 lakh, 3.25 lakh crores. I'll tell you how it works. Printing money works like you ask the government will issue bonds. You ask State Bank of India or one of your nationalized banks to buy those bonds. The moment they buy the bond there, within 2 minutes you buy the bond, RBI buys the bond from SBI and other PSU banks. And the RBI does not have the money. It just transfers it. It creates a book entry into SBI's account, say 1 lakh crore over a period of time. That is how money is created. They have already through GSAP securities bought 1 lakh crores in April, May, June, and they have agreed to buy another 1.25 lakh crores in July, August, September, that is 2.25. A non-existent dividend has been transferred for 9 months to the government. That is a non-existence. Why? Because they used an obscure provision in the Bimal Jalan committee, which said that I can, whenever I do trades in Forex, I can use the average rate of dollar. So what happened is the average historical cost of dollar was 56 rupees. So just 20 days in March, the RBI sold several billion dollars of several billions worth of dollars and brought it in the forward market. That is, they bought it in the futures market, paying a premium of 4%. When they sold dollars, they received 73 rupees. And they made a book entry that my cost is only 56. The last time you got dollars at 56 is way back in 2013 or 14, early 2014. But you use the book entry to say, I bought dollars at 56, which is a fictitious interview. As a chartered accountant, you know, nobody will accept it. So you say 56 minus 73 is profit per dollar. And therefore, I created 50,000 crores and you give it as dividend.
No, Anand, just to put this in perspective, are you saying that we sold dollars at 72, 73 and
Yes.
bought back dollars in the forward market at around the same price?
Yes, plus 4.5%.
Okay.
Mm.
All right.
And then you claimed that you earned $50,000. You made a profit of 50,000 crores.
Yeah.
So
I understand. What is, see, the quantum of Forex reserves that we have today is, I think, perhaps record high. What do you think needs to be done with that kind of money?
First of all, it is not your money.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. See, first of all, see, there are two ways you can earn Forex. That is why Manmohan Singh never talked about his 56-inch chest of acquiring dollars, because this is only borrowed capital. This is basically FII money, NRI money, and FDI. None of this is sticky, can go back anytime.
Okay.
The correct way China has earned Forex is by exporting more than what you import. by running a trade surplus, by running a small current account surplus. But we have been consistently running a trade deficit and a current account deficit. So your main money is by selling pieces of silver. Like Power Grid has put out a trust now. $20 billion came because to sell by Power Grid Trust. So it is Government of India money that is owned by public, you and me, that was sold and money came in. Anytime the dollar strengthens, those assets will be sold and money will go back. So what we have accumulated over the last 15 years is come by selling selling companies. Reliance got about 150,000 crores by selling shares. So you have not earned those dollars. It is not money I have earned and put it in the bank. It's a current account entry. A friend of yours has transferred money for selling shares of Prime. You run Prime very successfully. Which is real money? A friend transferring shares to buy Prime, or is this money earned from students who have paid fees? So the money paid from fees can be used for current expenditure. The money for transfer of shares is Pattabi's money, not the company's money.
All right. I will just move on. I think you became popular on television around the time or maybe immediately after demonetization. What is your fundamental objection to demonetization?
I think Manmohan Singh put it very well in Parliament. It is organized loot and plunder.
No, that is rhetoric. That is rhetoric.
No. There is no rhetoric in that. Why do you dismiss?
In terms of the usage of phrase, maybe you can tell us why is it organized plunder and loot?
The great Dr. Singh is not a man given to rhetoric at all.
No, so, Anand, I don't think we'll walk that path. I have as much great regard for Dr. Singh as you have.
So I am going to explain.
Yeah.
That was a one-time laundry scheme announced for those who had money to convert their black into white.
Okay. At a fundamental level,
I'm coming to it.
Yeah.
So far, no demonetization effort has been successful anywhere in the world. Because money is fungible. Money will find its way to go out anywhere. So what happened is all the people who had black money converted into white and again converted into black. There is no color of currency painted black or white.
Exactly.
So I have money with me, which is somebody comes to consult me. I collect a 2,000 rupee note and I don't account it. Then the 2,000 rupee money goes to black. I take my wife and go to a dinner at a restaurant and she raises a bill and I pay it, the money becomes white. And then when she is up, next time pays a vegetable vendor who has not raised a bill, it becomes black. So money which was white became black, became white, became black. So it is not, the imagination of people was that people have thousands of crores parked in cash lying somewhere. And overnight, people, when you ask for money, it will start coming into it. Most of black money in India is neither in gold or real estate. Your demonetization did not touch that. And in Port Kandla, which P. Chidambaram explained very well, in the Kandla port executives had 2,000 rupees note even before you and I saw 2,000 rupee notes. There was a very good friend of Mr. Modi, who was the trustee of the Tirupati Devasthanam, Mr. Reddy. In his house, lot of 2,000 rupee note was caught by the income tax people. And the Reserve Bank said, we don't know how it got to him.
Okay, Anand, I am not stopping you for any
reason. Finish. Listen, Let me finish.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, 100% of the money went in. Then somebody gave idea to the Prime Minister that people will be scared to put the money. So you can immediately monetize it. About 5 lakh crores will not come. That 5 lakh crores, I can put it in my revenue and I can put it in people's account. Yeah. Unfortunately, all the 18 lakh crores came. So the first purpose was defeated. Then he said, I will destroy black money. Where is black money? Even today, we have to pay the constable 200 rupees. You have to donate to school. If I want a school in a top-notch school, I have to pay cash. So it is still there. So I can go to take you to the nearest revenue taluk office to get a caste certificate or get an income certificate. I have to pay bribe.
Okay, okay. Anand, I'll interject here. I will first go with the point that you said that from that entire 15 lakh crore came back, and today actually money in circulation is 2 times that. So
Yes.
I agree with you that from that perspective, it did not work.
Mm.
I read somewhere by an economist that black money is fine so long as it comes back to the economy. So long as, like you said, it is not hidden under the bed or, in other words, it's not put to you. So long as it comes back into the economy, it is fine. Is that an idea that you agree with?
No, I don't agree with that idea. The reason for black money is excessive taxes. If your taxes are normal, black money will not be there.
What is your definition of what should be normal?
No, I don't set tax rates.
But
there is
okay. Because you have said the tax rates are high. What would you like?
See, India's tax rates have been historically high. My party is also responsible for it.
Okay.
So when you have taxes, when you suppose at your level as a doctor, I earn 10. See, let us take a case of a doctor and I'll tell you why it is inordinate. If you want to be a doctor and you have gone in by merit, you have gone into Madras Medical College, spent about 1 lakh in 5 years. You are 25, you are 18. By the time you pass out, you are 23. Then you have to go to struggle here and there with some 24-hour hospital, write 1 or 2 attempts at NEET, and go to a postgraduate institute. Spend another 1 or 2 lakhs. I am already 26, 27. Then I have to come and slog as a junior. I am at 30, 31. I know this because a lot of doctors, and your wife was a doctor, so you will know that. By the time you are 31, 32, is doctors.
By the way, just to set the record straight, my wife was a salaried doctor. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm talking of the specialists. Okay. Doctors don't make much money. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So a guy comes, if I were in IT, I join out of IIT, I go to Facebook or YouTube or Google, I start making 50 lakhs from the first year. I get posted abroad. I start milking money from age 21. Because a guy who goes merit into medical college is similar to a guy who goes into IIT. That is why I'm comparing that number. So he makes about 40, 50 lakhs a year. By the time this 11 years is over and that guy comes, that fellow has put 10 years in Google. The stock options in Google will make him a multimillionaire. He'll be worth 7-8 crores in Google by the time he's 33, 34. Then there is question of a lottery of a startup and all that. Now this poor chap comes here. At 32, he starts his practice in cardiology or neuroscience. And you want him to pay 45% of the money he's making as tax. What logic is that? You tell me.
No, are you saying that the doctors are the ones who are responsible for black money?
No. See, black money, where is it generated? Professionals, I don't want to talk about chartered accountants today. Doctors, lawyers, architects, small business is where the maximum black money is generated.
All right.
See, it is not possible for a large listed company to generate huge amount of black money.
Fair enough.
The small hospital, that's where the maximum number is generated.
Okay. For the benefit of our viewers, I'll very quickly summarize what Anand has been talking about in the context of our economy. He says that India is now very much into stagflation, which is a combination of inflation with near zero growth. He says that the forex reserves are not a matter of significant comfort because it's hot money. It can go away as fast as it came in. He also suggests that the demonetization has never worked anywhere in the world, and therefore there was little scope for it to work in India. Thank you very much, Anand. It was nice interacting with you. I'm sure there are a lot of takeaways for the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.